demolition chaos. In business, Bog Governor, fraud risks rising due to weak authentication. And on the international front, Boko Haram attack kills 23 soldiers in Chad Lake, Chad region.
My name is El Samuels. The news is also live across our social media handles on MBN 360. Those and many other stories coming up. A 19-year-old senior high school student, Ni Lante, has been reportedly shot by the police at Denkyira in an incident linked to a land dispute involving the attempted demolition of several houses on a 700-acre property.
According to reports, the incident occurred when a private individual moved to demolish structures on the disputed land, triggering tensions in the area. The situation is said to have escalated, leading some aggrieved residents to allegedly attack the Denkyira police station. Police officers responded in an effort to restore order. During the confrontation, Ni Lante, who had reportedly stepped out to buy something nearby, was hit by a stray bullet fired by police as they attempted to disperse the crowd. He was immediately rushed to the University of Ghana Medical Center (UGMC) in Accra for emergency treatment. Authorities are yet to provide further details on the incident as investigations are expected to begin into the circumstances surrounding the shooting.
Away from the shooting incident, the Minister for Health, Kwabena Minta Kandor, has assured the full implementation of recommendation put forward by the committee that investigated the death of engineer Charles Emisa.
Speaking to the press after the report was presented by the committee's chairman, Professor Ejiman Beidu Akosa, the minister described the findings as timely and commended the team for what he called a thorough and impactful piece of work. He indicated that the government is committed to ensuring accountability and driving systemic reforms within the healthcare sector, particularly in emergency care delivery. As part of immediate measures, the minister has directed that health professionals cited in the report be referred to their respective institutions and regulatory bodies for disciplinary action over breaches of professional duty. Those to face sanctions include Dr. Annie-Marie Kudo of the Police Hospital, Dr. Nina Naomi Aram Adotevi of the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, Dr. Ida Durant of the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, and Dr. Genevieve Aja, also of Korle Bu and the MDC. Others include Ms. Akosia B. Texan of the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, as well as Ms. Joy Daisy Nelson of Korle Bu and the NMC, all of whom had to face disciplinary processes for their roles in handling the case. The minister further directed the swift processing of these referrals, stressing the need for expedited action to ensure justice and restore public confidence in the healthcare system. Charles Emisa, a 29-year-old employee of Promasidor Ghana Limited, died on February 2026 following a hit-and-run incident at the Circle Overpass. He was reportedly denied admission at multiple facilities, including Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, and the Police Hospital before succumbing. The incident sparked nationwide concern over the persistent no-bed syndrome, with the committee's report expected to drive critical reforms in Ghana's emergency healthcare system.
Away from the health incident, the Ghana Police Service has declared a man wanted as a Prince Accra wanted in connection with the murder of two individuals at Saki near the Tema Gulf City in the Greater Accra region.
According to a statement issued by the Criminal Investigation Department on May 6, 2026, the suspect, believed to be about 30 years old, is being pursued for his alleged involvement in the killing of Ebenezer Kwabena Obiri, 45, and Mary Enim, 22. Preliminary investigations indicate that the suspect had been living with the victims in a chamber and hall apartment. The two were later discovered dead in their rooms with multiple machete wounds. Police say the male victim was last seen with Prince Kra on the night of April 30, 2026, a day before the incident. A warrant for the suspect's arrest was subsequently issued by the Kpo Magistrates Court on May 4th. Prince Kra is described as dark in complexion, approximately 5.7 feet tall, and of stout build. He was last seen wearing a Lacoste shirt and jeans. Authorities also indicate that he is believed to be a military officer and may be hiding within the Kakusunanka or Kamina barracks in Tamale. The police are offering a reward of 100,000 Ghana cedis for credible information leading to his arrest. Members of the public with relevant information are urged to report to the nearest police station or call emergency numbers 191 or 112. The police say efforts are ongoing to apprehend the suspects.
Away from the story, we go straight to the business desk where the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Pandis Esiama, has raised concerns about a weak authentication system in the digital financial services, warning the increased fraud risk affects credit quality and undermine trust in the sector.
Speaking at the 3i Africa Summit 2026 on Wednesday, May 6th, theme Innovation, Investment and Impact in Africa's FinTech Ecosystem, Dr. Esiama said the work ahead goes beyond issuing laws, guidelines or regulatory frameworks, calling for a strengthened and critical regulatory infrastructure. The process, he noted, must be clear, submissions trackable and decisions timely to build confidence in the financial system. According to him, confidence in digital finance will also depend heavily on the strength of digital identity systems and know your customer (KYC) frameworks. Weak authentication increases fraud risks, it affects credit quality, and it undermines trust in digital financial services. We must also focus on the development of indigenous firms, he cautioned. Dr. Esiama urged stronger coordination among institutions, improved data quality, and more robust identity systems in the next phase of growth in Africa's fintech ecosystem. He further called for increased support for indigenous fintech firms, adding that Africa's digital finance sector must not only grow but also mature, with strong companies giving access to capital, partnership, and infrastructure to scale sustainably.
Regulation must remain firm. It must protect the public. It must safeguard the integrity of the financial system, and it must preserve stability. At the same time, it must be enabling. It must support responsible innovation and allow markets to develop in a structured and predictable manner. Regulation and growth are not opposing forces. They must reinforce each other. Now, to tell you a bit about guidelines for digital credits, then the third is progressing open banking. The last one, of course, is supporting cross-border fintech activity. So these are not isolated initiatives. They are part of a coherent effort to ensure that the financial system evolves in a way that is structured, that is predictable, and that is capable of supporting innovation at scale. However, the work ahead is not only about issuing laws, guidelines, or frameworks. It is about strengthening the service infrastructure around regulation. Processes have to be clear. Submissions must be trackable. Decisions have to be timely. This is how confidence is built. Confidence will also depend on the strength of our digital identity and our KYC frameworks. Weak authentication increases fraud risk, it affects credit quality, and it undermines trust in digital financial services. So the next phase will require stronger coordination across institutions, improved data quality, and more robust identity systems. We must also focus on the development of indigenous firms in this endeavor. Africa's digital finance ecosystem must not only grow, it must mature.
Away from the business desk and also hearing the governor of the Bank of Ghana, we move straight to the West African story, where at least 23 Chadian soldiers have been killed and 26 injured in a Boko Haram attack on one military post in the Charles Lake, Chad region, according to the country's armed forces.
The military said in a statement on Tuesday that the Nigeria-based armed group, which has long posed a threat around Lake Chad, located at the junction of Cameroon, Chad, Niger, and Nigeria, struck on Monday night on Charles Island on Bakatoulourum. The army said a significant number of the attackers were killed and the group repelled. Once again, the nebulous Boko Haram terrorist group carried out a cowardly attack last night on a military base at Bakatoulourum. Chadian President Mahamat Idris Deby Itno said on Tuesday in a Facebook post, "We will continue the fight with renewed determination until this threat is completely eradicated," he said, offering his condolences to the bereaved families. Chadian soldiers have come under increasing fire from Boko Haram in the Lake Chad region, with an October 2024 attack killing about 40 soldiers in the Chadian army's ranks. Recent months have also seen a surge in attacks by the group's Jazz faction, including kidnappings and attacks on advanced army positions, especially on the islands and along Niger's portion of the lake shores. In response to the October 2024 attack, Deby launched a counter-offensive which he promised to personally lead on the ground for 2 weeks. After the offensive ended in February last year, the army insisted that Boko Haram had no more sanctuary on Chadian territory. Lake Chad's islands and marshes also serve as a haven for Boko Haram's rival splinter group, the ISIL affiliate in West Africa province. The landlocked Central African country has faced years of instability marked by recurring rebellions, armed factions, and coups. Despite its oil wealth, economic stagnation and a harsh climate have kept Chad among the poorest nations in Africa.
And this brings us to the end of this morning's Mega News. Live from our studios on the 10th Avenue Extension, Greater Estate. The news was also live across our social media handles on MBN 360. Before I take leave of you, a recap of the stories making headlines.
19-year-old SHS student shot in Dentra demolition chaos. In business, Bob Gardner, Ford risks rising due to weak authentication. And on the international front, Boko Haram attack kills 23 soldiers in Chad Lake, Chad region.
For more news, log on to MBN 360. My name is El Samuels. Up next is a sports update.